We are going to move on to installing metal. I can't think of the word. Metal fascia. I don't think that's the right word. We're just putting metal around the roof of the barn. So we're going to, we won't have to look at this rubber hanging off anymore. It's going to be much nicer. So you know that we want to do a green roof up there. We've actually picked up some old carpet for free from someone that was trying to get rid of it. So we're going to get that up on the roof probably later on, but just going to be really good to get this metal up there and having it look a little bit more finished. So we've got scrap metal that Greg had at work, and he bent it up to the profile that we need, and we're just going to get it installed. So he's going to be taking the lead on how to do this because I have no idea, but it's going to be good practice for when we're working on the house. So we decided to go with a gray. We kind of had limited selection of what he had as scraps. We went with gray. That's kind of why I stained the door gray, was just to kind of tie that all together. So yeah, I'm excited to get this up there and having it look a little bit more finished. Cute.
Ain't that just a fucking bitch? All this metal ain't gonna work. Hold on a second. That's the wrong piece of metal. That's the wrong piece of metal. We'll see if the other piece works. So my face, that's this part of the metal, should really be at least a half or even a full inch longer, but I can make it work. It's just barely enough. It's barely enough. And I have to make all of my nails along the top of my fascia metal perfectly right at the top, or else they're gonna be exposed. Now we're gonna have some exposed nails on this side, but we're also gonna put up a gutter so that the water just doesn't fall in front of the barn. So that gutter is gonna cover all of those exposed nails. So it's not that big of a deal. I really should have done a little bit better measurements, but it still works. So whatever. way better, eh? How's that look?
Maybe gets the top bunk.
So many yum-yums. Yum-yums. Fuck around, paintbrush. Come on, little babies. Unicorn, out.
Got a fair bit done in here. I got this whole center thing pulled out. All of the spare plywood that we had stacked there is now over in the corner. I'm gonna pause on this for a little bit because Paintbrush and the chicks are hanging out. They seem to really want to be in here, and Paintbrush is kind of a mean mum, so I'm just gonna leave them be. The next thing I want to work on, Greg is busy doing the metal on the roof still. So what I'm going to do is start cutting the boards for the loft area above the chicken coop. The chicks that we've had running around have been sleeping up in the rafters, so it's just getting really poopy. And I want to get this loft up there so that they can't, I want to get these boards up there so that they can't go up there anymore. I want them to be roosting on the roosts. And yes, we've got that. We're gonna space the boards out a little bit so that the air can flow through. I think we're gonna put straw up there. So yeah, I'm gonna cut all of the boards because Greg is using the air compressor for his nail gun right now. And then once he is finished with that, I will hook up the other nail gun and get these boards in, but I'm gonna get everything cut to 76.5. So I'm gonna pull all these boards out. We've got them just over here piled up, and I'll get them cut up to size.
Just recently, the US has disclosed that they are 100% declassified. They have alien technology, for sure. You heard about that.
Yeah.
So,
Come on, you gotta grab life by the horns, you know?
best my nails.
That's why I put it on one. At least it gets started. Oh my goodness.
That's good.
Maybe I'll put it on 2.
Split the difference.
Yeah. I'm going to get a little crazy up in here. Ah! Still. Come on. Chickens don't care if it's crooked, right?
I do.
Never notice.
Okay, go straight. Oh, nice. Very nice job, Katie.
Okay.
Patience with it. There you go.
All right, we've got that latched. We can fit our hands through here, so if we get stuck in there, we can reach around and still get it open. We've got the loft all installed. We've got a couple boards going across on either side so that the goats can't get through. I already found Nebby up on the loft before we had secured the boards. We went in for lunch and he found his way over there and was enjoying it. But we're gonna have hay and stuff and they're gonna wanna get to it. So with that blocked off, they'll be a lot safer up there. So that is all good. The next thing we gotta do, the next two things we gotta do is some chipping because I wanna get the whole floor all covered. And then we need to get the chicken door running. So we had it, Greg installed it a few weeks ago, but we haven't hooked up the electronics up with it. So we gotta get that going. And then we need to figure out a way to keep the goats out of the chicken pen. Lots of people suggested putting like a tunnel with a corner in it. So we might try doing that. My other idea was to just put a fence down the middle of the run that the chickens can get through. The turkeys wouldn't be able to get through it, but they'll still have half of the run. And then the goats will have the other half of the run. And then the chickens can go in between if they want to, which I know that they will, because they always want to be with the goats. So we'll sit with those ideas for a little bit longer and figure out what we want to do. We did a bit of research on how other people are keeping goats out of their chicken coop or their chicken feeding area, at least when they are sharing a barn space. And we found a really cool way to keep them out, and that is by putting like PVC pipe across, so it creates kind of like a grate where the goats can't step on it, but the chickens can.
Like a horizontal ladder.
Horizontal ladder. So we're gonna try that out, but we're gonna kind of modify it a little bit because we have lots of wood, we have a sawmill, we have lots of wood, we don't have a lot of like plumbing supplies laying around anymore. So we are going to put like 1 by 1 wood across. The chickens will be able to go onto it and the goats won't. We'll put that in front of the door and that'll hopefully keep them out. And then we're also gonna close it in a little bit so that it has that 90-degree turn like everyone else has suggested. That's something else that we saw when we were looking into it. So I think if we combine the two, then we'll definitely keep the goats out, right?
Yeah. Try.
We'll try.
So, roughly speaking, I'm gonna put this underneath there like that, leveled. And then I'm gonna put plywood in here to about that high so that the goats can't get up and over it.
So we've got plywood over top just as a test. We'll see how they react to it and then we'll redesign this a little bit. But yeah, we've got the opening here and then the chicken doors in there. You gotta call them, Greg. Come on, boys, this way. Look, what's this? You wanna go in there? Wanna go in there? Come on. See, he jumped on. See? Look. Stick it out.
You don't like it.
He's still walking on it though.
You got figured out now, eh?
Well, that is not gonna work. He just went in there like it was nothing. So I guess we're back to the drawing table. We're back this morning trying to keep these darn goats out of the chicken coop. We went back to the video where we saw this method and it kind of looks like they have quite a bit of distance between the ground and the ladder thing. So we're gonna dig this out a little bit. Greg's gonna dig this out a little bit and try to get it deep enough that if the goats try to step on it, the bars are gonna hit their chest, and we'll see if that will keep them out. Because it looks like this method should work. This person said that it worked. We really want it to work.
Sorry, boy.
Get out of there, boy. Hand workout. We only had a 1-inch paddle
Paddle bit.
paddle bit, and it's a little bit too small for this 3/4 inch PVC. So what we are doing is crimping the end of the pipe to kind of squish it.
With the PEX crimper.
And it's working. So we're making do. We thought about going into town to get the right size bit, but that would end up meaning a couple hours, because once you drive into town, you might as well get groceries, then you might as well get lunch, then you might as well pick up this or that, check the mail, and it ends up being half the day. So we're making do with what we got.
What do you think?
No. Juniper.
This is a test. This is only a test.
Come on, boys.
What are you doing there, chicken?
Stay. Come on, Ned. Who's he, Greg? Is he doing it?
He's trying.
It's a no for fat boy. Okay, Nebs, your turn. Okay, do it. Call Nebby.
Come on, Nebs. Is that Nebs?
Yeah. I think that's a no. I think that's as far as he can go. I think we might have a winning design here. They step in a little bit, but then it gets too deep and they are not comfortable going further. So I think we're winning, finally. And there are obviously holes in our fence because this one is coming through. Where's your bowl? Get your bowl. There it is. Nebby, don't do it. We're gonna start hooking up the electric chicken coop, the automatic chicken coop door. We went with Viver. It is the biggest one I could find. There's nothing that markets specifically for turkeys. It's just chickens and ducks. So this was the biggest one. I think it's 18 inches wide in the opening. And I think Greg has the hole a little bit smaller, but if the turkeys don't like it, then we can make it bigger if we need to. And I foolishly bought a plug-in one and not a solar-powered one, so we're gonna have to finagle with that. But actually, I don't think there is a solar-powered one of this size. So yeah, we're gonna try to get this going. We don't have batteries for the remotes, and we'll have to bring out a power station to plug this into, but the goats already did chew on a cable, so we're gonna have to jimmy rig the wires to get it to connect. Juniper.
These fingers weren't meant for this nimbly dimbly stuff.
So we have the light sensor, goes down, and then there's an infrared light that will stop the door from closing if it detects an object in front of it. And the door. So Greg is just getting everything connected into the box. We did kind of pull things apart so that we could fit the cables through little tiny holes instead of big holes. And yeah, I think it's coming along good. Be ready to try it out in just a moment.
I'm a chicken. No.
We have an automatic chicken door now. It's working. It's working good. We are gonna try to figure out if we can set up a 12-volt battery to run it with like a little solar panel up on the roof to power it. And the last step that we have, actually we have 2 things left to do in here. We gotta get some wood chips everywhere. We got to build some ramps so that the chickens can get up to their roost. Oh, 4 things. We need to build some doors for the storage under the roost so that no one can go in there. And then we need to build a frame and a roof structure around the little horizontal ladder that we built. And then we'll be done. Thought we were closer, but we're not. So I guess we better keep working. I think I'm gonna paint this blue as well, just so it blends in a bit more. We've got the nice gray charcoal metal.
Okay, now I'm done.
That matches the drip edge as well, and then we're gonna have a gutter on this side to take the water away and hopefully store it for the birds or the animals, and then we'll have a gutter on the other side as well. But yeah, I'm just really happy to have that installed. We know the door works, and now all we got to do is chipping and a ramp up to the roost, and we'll be able to get these birds in there tonight, which I'm really happy about. It's going to be interesting trying to get them into the coop tonight because they're going to want to go into their regular spots. But we actually have turkeys sitting on some guinea eggs right now, and I don't want to have to go in there when the chicks hatch because those turkeys are mean. So I want to get everyone out of there so that they can just do their thing in there, and we'll just leave them alone until the guineas are old enough to leave them. So there, that's done.
back a little bit. That's good. That's good. Actually,
now that we have the barn 98% finished, I'm gonna give you a quick tour. There's a couple things we need to finish still, but I want to get this video out, and we're gonna try posting Wednesday videos again. So with that, I'll just give you the quick rundown of the barn and how everything is going. So when you walk in, you have this nice breezeway, and then behind me is the goat pen, and in front of me on this side we have the chicken coop. We've got our hay storage down below, and one of the things that we need to finish is getting a door on that hay storage because the chickens are already starting to lay eggs in there. It's a very nice place for them to lay, but I don't want them to be going deep into the back of the hay storage. We've just been keeping a pallet up in the breezeway so that the goats can't come through to the yard. Most of the chickens are staying on the other side as well. It's been a few nights now that the chickens have been sleeping in here, and I am having to put them in one by one. They still haven't quite figured out that they're supposed to be sleeping in here. I do close up the other coop fairly early so that they can't get into it. And then they start looking for other places to roost. Got a feeder just hanging from the beams. And then we've got our food storage in this very large garbage can. We've got a portable power station that is running the automatic chicken door, which I have blocked off because our little access ladder thing that we've been building to keep the goats out isn't quite working yet. They're walking on the wood on the side of it, so we need to either put up a piece of pipe or some slanted wood so that they can't get a good grip. But otherwise, the chickens are starting to learn that they can go out in the morning, but I am having to bring them in every single day still, so we're slowly getting there. I'm still waiting on a little handheld size hoe that I can use to scrape off the poo. I've been using our full-size hoe, but it hits the other wall, so it's a little difficult. But I'm starting to think, what are you doing down there, little guy? You better not be trying to attack me. I'm starting to think I do want to put some sawdust from the mill down just to be an extra barrier between the metal and the poop, kind of make it easier to clean. I'm not too sure. I'm going to try it out, but this works okay as long as the poop has had some time to dry out. But if it's fresh, it's a little bit gross. So we've got lots of sawdust. I'm probably going to give that a shot tonight and see how that goes. The goats now have access to this whole outside area, so it goes all the way around the side of the barn. Everything that was the chicken run before they can go into. They've broken through all the fence because we normally keep stuff stacked up against the fencing so that the goats can't rub on it. But as we're using the materials that are stacked against the fence, it's exposing the fence. Get out of here. And they've broken through. So they've got a massive yard now, and the chickens can go everywhere, and everyone's really happy and enjoying it. So with that, thanks for watching our barn build series. I'm sure these last few projects will end up in our upcoming videos, but for now we need to get started. The next big project, which is going to be preparing for siding. So we got a lot to do before we can get the siding up, and we're running out of the warm weather. So we're gonna be jumping right into that in the next few videos. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.